guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be answering your parenting questions that you asked me. First question is, what is your least favourite part of being a parent? This is actually a really hard question because I can't really think of one of my least favourite things, but if I had to choose one, it would probably be the sleepless nights, because when you become a first time mum, you aren't used to waking up every single hour in the night, trying to settle your baby, and not being able to, it's not quick to adjust to. Definitely for me it wasn't. And I'm a mum that never naps, and I am not lying at all. I've never napped throughout the whole time Cole has been born. I'm gonna lie, it's took its toll for sure, definitely. Everybody says nap when your baby naps, and I definitely would recommend it because it probably makes the night feeds easier. But I never did. I've never been able to sleep during the day, and when your baby's asleep you want to be doing things and you want to be able to have time to yourself, and when that's the only time that you have to yourself, you don't want to spend it napping. Well, at least I didn't anyway. So the sleepless nights was really hard to adjust to at first. The first couple of days were fine because my body hadn't adjusted then, but I think a week or two into it I couldn't even keep my eyes open during the day. So it's definitely been hard to adjust for sure. But I'm just recently getting my sleep back. We are having full night sleeps, but not all the time. He does wake a few times in the night, just making a few funny noises, and I always do go and check on him and make sure he's okay. Even if it's no full-on cry or shouting or anything like that, I always like to check that, you know, he's alright, because sometimes if he's making a few little noises he'll make them for quite a while, and I'd rather, you know, just settle him back to sleep than leave him like that. Some people do say it's best to leave them, they'll settle on their own, but I can't settle knowing he's awake. Do you know what I mean? So that's probably my least favourite part of being a parent, is the sleepless nights. I would have millions of kids if it meant I didn't have to lose my sleep, because it definitely takes its toll, for sure. It takes its toll. Next question is, what other names did you have picked out for your baby? So with Cole, we had no other names picked out for Cole because we didn't really like that many boys' names, and we couldn't really think of any that we liked, and the only one was Cole. So that was the only one we picked. We didn't have any other names in mind for Cole. But if it was a girl, we was going to call her Arbery. And I do have another name in mind which I'm not going to mention, because if I do have any more children I don't want to mention it because I want it to be a surprise. So I do have a name in mind, but yeah, we're going to keep that a secret because I might change my mind, so I don't want to say it. But yeah, that was the name that we had for a girl, and for a boy it was going to be Cole. We had no other names planned. Who was there at the birth, and was they good support? My mum and my boyfriend were at the birth. The funny thing is, they went out for a fag just before I started to push. At this moment I didn't even know what was going on. They said you need to start pushing, but they were speaking about moving him in the birth canal because he wasn't in the correct position. So they was telling me to push, so I was thinking that I was pushing him in a better position to come out, but no, it turns out I was actually pushing to get him out. So that was a big shock, and I had to ask the midwife about 10,000 times what was going on because I was very confused, and it was a big shock because it all happened very fast. My mum and my boyfriend walked in at this time, and there was a lot of doctors in there. I think if I can remember correctly there was five or four, so there's quite a few doctors, seeing as I only had one in the whole day. So we had 4 to 5 doctors in there, and they, you know, was helping me, monitoring me and things like that. At this point they had no idea what was going on, so they walked in thinking, well, what the hell is going on? Yes, they were good support. I had somebody stay with me every night that I had had my baby. I know this doesn't work for everybody, but the hospital I stayed in actually did let a partner stay over you, so you wasn't on your own. I know some places make you send your partner home, but this place didn't. But that was lovely to have somebody there, and obviously because I fell ill, I am so thankful that I had my mum there and my boyfriend there. I honestly can't be more thankful at all. I appreciate it so much because I definitely couldn't have done it without them. Who cut your baby's cord? Dylan cut the baby's cord. Do you have any more children? This is a really, really hard question because I want kids, 100% I want kids, but I need to put my health first, I need to put Cole first, I need to put our financial situation first. So there's a lot of things to think about before I have another baby. Like I always say, we aren't planning to have another baby, and we're not planning to not have another baby. We see it as, if it happens, it happens. We'll take it as it comes, and this baby will be no regret if it does happen. But at the moment, we aren't saying, right, let's have a baby. There is moments where I think, you know what, I really want another baby, but then I sit there and think, do I? Am I just in the moment and thinking I want another baby? I would love another one, don't get me wrong, but I do have to put my health and everything else first and think, if I didn't have to go through labour, then I would have a million kids, you know? And to be honest, it wasn't the labour part. I was quite poorly at 32 weeks. I couldn't walk. I was in absolute agony. I can remember, I think it was a week before I was meant to be induced, I couldn't get out of the bath, and I kept ringing the hospital. I was like, I can't move, and they just kept fobbing me off. So being able to walk at the end of your pregnancy is definitely not fun at all. During labour, I didn't feel a thing. I'm not going to give you my life story because if you've seen the video you'll know. But after birth, oh my goodness, I don't ever want to experience what I experienced again. And as a first time mum, I heard so many people in there going, oh, have you been checked for sepsis? And sepsis is a very, very big scare to me because I lost my stepdad due to sepsis. So I get very, very scared when I see that people have a chance of getting it and people have had it. It's very, very scary. So you can imagine me as a first time mum hearing that. I was very scared. In regards to more children, I would love more children, but I also don't know if I'd love more children as well. It's kind of in an awkward situation. I feel like if I want more kids, I want more kids like soon. I'm not saying I'm going to pull out a pregnancy test tomorrow, but I just mean that if I am going to have kids, I want them soon. Because sometimes I think I want them close together just to get it over and done with, but then I think I want to wait till Cole's in school and then another baby. But what I'm thinking is I'm actually currently learning to drive. I don't know if I've said that on any of my videos, but I'm learning to drive, so after I can drive, I'll have another baby. Because I feel like, you know, when you're carting children on buses and transportation, it gets hard and it can get frustrating. It's hard work, especially if the buses are full, and it's just not the best environment to be in. So a mixed emotions with this question for sure. We're definitely not ruling it out, but we're definitely not planning to have a baby tomorrow. What's your baby's favourite thing to do? So many things that Cole loves to do. He loves to walk because now we can walk. So walking is one of his favourite things to do. If we're out and I put him on the floor, that's it. He wants to walk everywhere, and putting him back in his pushchair is hell. I'm not gonna lie, it is hell. He has the biggest tantrum. He did earlier when we was in B&M going some shopping. He cried and he was not very happy. He also loves the blinds. If you let him go near the blinds, he will waft them left, right and centre. He also loves playing on his trampoline that he has in the living room. It's just a really small one, but he loves it recently. So to be honest, there's a lot of things that Cole absolutely loves. How do you feel about Cole starting nursery? I'm not that bad when it comes to leaving Cole. I'm not, you know, too overwhelmed about it or anything. If anything, I think it's a positive thing, and I think it'll be good for him to interact with other children, which is why I've started sending him to a holiday club, because it's a time for him to be with other people, to interact with other children, and to just be around different people, because he is with me a lot of the time, and as much as I love that and as much as I wouldn't change that for the world, I think it's important that he does spend time with other people, because that's really going to help him in his development. So I'm not nervous about it. In a way, I think I am with all, like, you know, you know when they're at nursery, they catch everything you could possibly imagine. That's probably the only thing I'm anxious about, but apart from that, it doesn't really bother me that much. I think it's definitely something that I can deal with for sure. Or do you suffer with postnatal depression? If so, how do you cope or overcome this? Don't know if you could go as far as I had postnatal depression. I did go to the doctors because I thought that I had it. And they just told me that, you know, it was stress and things like that. But I have actually been seeking other help because I don't know if it is, you know, and I can get very stressed if I'm having a bad day or Cole's not being extremely happy and I'm unwell, or I'm having a bad pain day. That can sometimes stress me out. But I know the difference between being stressed and it being something more. So I do think that if you are feeling like there is something wrong and you do want to seek medical help, then please do, because it is so important, and you need to put yourself first for your kids, and it's really important that you do put yourself first because your kids want to see a strong mum. I'm definitely not going to say I'm in the best place, because I am not here to say that I'm the happiest person in the world, because I'm not. At the minute, I am going through a lot of stuff that I don't want to share on the internet right now. I feel like in a few months to come I might share it, because I am thinking of doing a video about specific things, but at the minute I'm not going to share anything. But I feel like what's happening is we're taking one step up, then two steps back. And it's just one thing after another, and I'm not gonna lie, I do struggle and I find it hard. And it's also hard because I'm with Cole 24/7 and I love him more than anything in the world, and I wouldn't change him for the world, and I wouldn't change the situation that we're in for anything in the world. Like, I get to be with him every single day at home, and there's a lot of people that don't get that. So I forever am grateful for that, because I know a lot of people don't get that opportunity. But it's hard. I am constantly picking up toys, taking out dirty nappies to the trash, watching unlimited amounts of Alvin and the Chipmunks, and that is something that I can't take much more. I thought at first, yeah, we'll watch it, but you know when you've heard that theme tune so many times, I can't explain how annoying that feels. I probably feel the same as people that watch Peppa Pig 24/7, that's how I feel. But we try to change it and watch different things, but it still gets so annoying. We've been watching a lot of Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom recently, and that's just, oh my life. I try to watch different things. We've been watching a little bit of Scooby-Doo, and I can deal with Scooby-Doo. I watched that as a kid. I also watched Peppa Pig as a kid, but you know when you're watching it so many times a day, it's hard. But when you're having a rough time and you're a stay-at-home mum, you don't have the choice to sit down for 5 minutes. You don't have the chance to go and make yourself a cuppa or sit down for 5 seconds and just relax. Especially with a child my age, I don't. He doesn't nap unless I take him out in the pushchair, which is what I've tried to start doing, because I think it's important that I take him out in the pushchair, because I want him to nap, because it isn't good if he doesn't nap. So I tried to take him out and make sure he does nap. If we're in the house, he doesn't nap. He does not nap. He fights his naps. So I don't get any time to myself, and when I do, it's when he goes to bed, and I spend majority of my time filming, editing, uploading, emailing people, sorting out all that kind of stuff, and trying to make a career for myself and for my child. So I'm trying to provide a living for us, and I'm trying to do so much other stuff and juggle house and juggle bills and kids and my own mental health state and things like that, and it does get too much. And I'm not going to beat around the bush and say that I'm having a great time and I'm on top of the world, because I'm definitely not. But I'm also not here to ask for sympathy either. I don't want people's sympathy. I don't want to take my time to tell people what's wrong, because I don't feel like that's necessary and people don't need to know that. But it's not easy, and I'm definitely not in the best place I could be in, but I'm definitely not in the worst place either. I have been in worse states. There's been days where I wake up and I cry, and I go to sleep and I cry, and I literally throughout the day just cry. I can't remember the last time I didn't cry, to be honest. Things do get very overwhelming a lot of the time, but that is just the joys of being a mum, and it's hard. So please don't ever think that motherhood is easy, because it really, really isn't. I show the positives on here, I don't show the negatives, and I do want to try to show the negatives because I feel like people need to see how real it is to actually be a parent, instead of all the cutesy dresses and all the cute outfits. Like, what goes on behind putting them in that outfit? What goes on at bedtime? Do they really go to sleep when they're meant to go to sleep? So without me babbling anymore, to answer that question, I don't really know if I've had postnatal depression. I'm no doctor, no doctor's diagnosed me with it. The doctor has said that I might have slight depression when I saw somebody else, but I'm not going to look too much into it, and I'm just trying to help myself and do stuff that's going to help me. So hopefully things do get better, and if you are having a hard time, just remember that it isn't going to last forever, and you are going to get in a better place. You are going to be happier. It will take time, but you can get through it. What's your baby's favourite foods and snacks to eat? So Cole loves yogurts. He absolutely loves yogurts. Biscuits, if you give him biscuits, he loves biscuits. Bananas, he absolutely loves bananas. Grapes, he's a big fan of. He did love strawberries at one point, but he's gone off those. Rice cakes, he loves rice cakes also. They're such a good snack on the go. When I want, you know, to have a peaceful trip to the shop, I hand him a rice cake and he's happy for the journey, and it lasts him quite a while. So rice cakes are something that I always have to make sure I have in my cupboard for emergency situations. Is Cole behind in any of his development? Well, we've not seen a health visitor for quite a while now. I think the last time I saw a health visitor was May, so it's been quite a while. I don't think that Cole's behind in any of his development right now at all. I think he's where he needs to be. A few months ago, I think my health visitor would have said different, but I feel like I'm partly to blame for that, because I feel like I haven't helped Cole as much as I should have done. I feel like when Cole's been trying to walk, I feel like I didn't really help him enough when he was trying to sit up and crawl. I feel like I just didn't help him enough, and that makes me feel so bad, and I think I'm forever going to think that, because Cole didn't actually sit unattended till he was 7 months old. And I know some babies, you know, don't sit up until they're 7 months old. You know, there's quite a few babies that don't. Some sit up at 3 months, some sit up at 7. You know, it's completely different for every baby. But I just feel bad, because I do feel like I am the reason that he's so late at doing specific things. So yeah, I don't feel like he's late or behind in any of his development right now, but in the past I do feel like I could have helped speed it up a little bit more. What do you do when Cole is sleeping at night? I've answered this question briefly a little bit, but not in that much detail. But when Cole is asleep at night, I do YouTube. So I film videos, edit, upload. If I'm filming a video, which I'm filming right now, I will edit this and upload this tonight, scheduled for Sunday. So that'll be done tonight. I'll also sort out my channel, sort out my laptop, see if there's anything that needs to be deleted, needs to be cleared. I'll also do some cleaning and focus on little bits and bobs that I need to do. Also practice my theory, because I'm hoping to take my theory in September as well. Hoping to pass first time, but we're 4 points away at the minute from passing, so fingers crossed we pass. Fingers crossed, because I want to be on the road. Is anything not as you expected it to be? Definitely don't think I had a big shock coming into the motherhood part, because I knew that it wasn't going to be easy. I knew that there's going to be tantrums over the daftest stuff. I knew that I was going to go out some days and Cole was going to have a tantrum for the majority of the day. I know that half the stuff that happens now was going to happen. I feel like one of the things I didn't expect to happen is how hard it is when they're poorly. Oh my goodness, Cole being poorly is the worst thing for me. I hate it. It's so horrible, because the thing is, how it's worked so far is if Cole gets something, I get something. But if I get something first, Cole won't get it. So if anything, I prefer if I get it over him, because last year if you guys watched Vlogmas, he actually did end up going to A&E late at night because he couldn't breathe properly, he had bronchitis, and he had a very bad virus as well, which he did not stop crying for the whole day. And I am not joking. I'm not joking. He didn't drink water or milk. I was in touch with 111 a lot that day. And the only time he slept is when he fell asleep from crying so much. And that was the only time. You couldn't make any noise. If you stood on something or you made the tiniest noise, he would be up again and screaming again. It hasn't got much easier since he's been sick. He's had a cough and a cold and he has not been happy at all, which obviously is expected. I do hope it gets a little bit easier as he gets older, but I just feel so bad because I can't help him. Obviously I can give him medication, but I can't cure him, and that's the worst part. I hate seeing him poorly and I hate seeing him sad because I want him to be the happy little baby that he always is, and when he's poorly it's not a nice feeling. He is getting over his cough and cold at the minute, but it's still not fully gone. Things that make you sad about being a mum. How lonely it is. I don't really have a lot of friends. I'm not going to say I don't have any friends because I definitely do have some lovely mum friends that I wouldn't change for the world. And they're brilliant, but it is lonely being a mum, and I'm with my child 24/7, and sometimes it would be nice to, you know, have somebody local that I could talk to and be with and spend time with and things like that, because I feel like it does get really lonely sometimes, and you know, when you're having a bad day, sometimes you just need that adult conversation with you. Things that make you proud of Cole. Cole is learning so much at the minute. The other day he said garden and I, no joke, nearly cried. And I think it's just his confidence in general. We was on the garden earlier and he walked all the way from the bottom of the garden to the top of the garden without falling over. But when he was walking down, he did bang his head on the concrete, which I knew was going to happen because for some reason he starts to run. He starts to run down, and yeah, it doesn't end well. So I do try to stop him. But accidents are going to happen regardless, so I'm very proud of his development at the minute. He's doing really, really well, and he's just such a nice little boy as well. I couldn't fault him. So many people say so many positive things about him. When I've sent him to holiday groups, so many people have said positive things about him. He's made a friend even made him a card, and that literally touched my heart so much, and I was like, this is just the beginning of so much stuff that he's going to get in his life, and I can't wait to just follow through and see what other amazing friends he makes. Funniest thing Cole has done so far. Well, I'd probably say this is the funniest thing, but also embarrassing as well, and that is when... Oh, no. Okay, scrap that one. So, the funniest thing that Cole has done, a little story. I was changing Cole in the living room, and I ran outside to put the nappy in the bin, and my neighbours were outside and they started talking to me, and I didn't know at this point I forgot to put a nappy on Cole. So I literally just ran to the bin, get it out of the way, didn't even think to put a nappy on him. I left the front door open because I let him come and stand by the door, and he came to the door, so I went to come and get him to pick him up so he could see my neighbours, because my neighbours love him, and he had no nappy on. So I didn't even dare bring him out of the house. I just took a look at him and thought, you are not coming outside. And that was the funniest moment because I burst out laughing and they didn't understand what I was laughing at. So I had to quickly rush him inside to put him a nappy on, but that was probably the funniest moment. I know for some people it's not probably a funny moment, but when you're in the moment, that was funny. Hardest thing / day you've done or / had so far? Probably last year when Cole was poorly. Honestly, horrific. He cried for the whole day until he pushed himself to go to sleep, and that was so hard. I thought at first that he's got a virus and he didn't. So you can imagine how hard that was for me because I couldn't do anything. Absolutely nothing. Honestly, I'm not even exaggerating. I constantly had to hold him and it was very, very, very challenging, and I hope to never ever go through that again, because that was so hard, and I just felt so bad for him because you could just see how poorly he was and how upset he was, and I could do nothing to help apart from give him Calpol. That is the end of this video. I've definitely rambled on for every single question, and I'm so sorry, but I just hope that I've answered them in enough detail for you all. If you guys did enjoy this video, please smash a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would be extremely grateful. And if you haven't already, please click the notification bell because I'll notify you every single time I upload a video, and I will see you on my next video.